I'm about to use a tactic which I call going from the sublime to ridiculous in order to make a point. So as a disclaimer, just be very clear that we do not at any point ever encourage anyone to provoke anyone or create fear in order to provoke a reaction, which is exactly what the shooter, Michale Drejka, did prior to his shooting and killing of Markeis McGlocton. But we're going to make a point to allow those who don't get the point to be able to suddenly see it once we flip the script and change the narrative even slightly. And it's very effective. Enjoy it.
And what we know from the investigation is that Markeis McGlocton, who's a 28-year-old African-American male, had arrived at the store with his girlfriend, Brittany Jacobs. Brittany parked their car in a handicapped spot by the store. Markeis and his son, who's 5 years old, went into the store. Another person by the name of Michale Drejka, who's 47 years old, white male, arrived at the store. He lives in the area and was a frequent customer of the store. And somebody who others have said complained about people parking in the handicapped spots. And he had an issue with people who illegally parked in handicapped spots at that store.
Yeah, well, you know, I have an issue with people who illegally jaywalk. I also have an issue with people who illegally park too far from the curb. And I really have a big issue with people who illegally stop at a stoplight, but their tire is over the white line. So maybe I'll go down to Florida, you know, me and a bunch of other radical people, and we all have open carry licenses. And we'll get one in your state very easily, and we'll start confronting people who jaywalk, don't park their car correctly, they park too far from the curb, and they stop at stoplights. Maybe we'll stand in front of them and tell them they need to back up. Maybe we'll confront the people that just jaywalked. We'll confront them in groups. Maybe we'll confront the people that we see illegally crossing the street where there's no crosswalk. Maybe we'll confront the people that we see illegally smoking in a restaurant where there's a no smoking sign. And we're going to be very assertive and aggressive, and we're going to use racial slurs like this man did. Hey, First Amendment, free speech, right? And, of course, if they get intimidated, or if, you know, maybe it's a woman, white woman perhaps, demure, petite white woman, 3 or 4 big black dudes surrounding her, confronting her about illegally crossing the street or not wearing a seatbelt. Maybe her husband, boyfriend, brother, father, or just some good Samaritan might intervene, thinking that she might be in danger, and push one of us. You know, kind of push one of us away from her so that she's no longer in imminent danger, because we're going to be close enough to punch her even though we have no intent to punch her. We're just telling her that we don't like the fact that she illegally crossed the street, or that we saw her driving her car with no seatbelt. And we're so concerned about that. So when some good Samaritan, boyfriend, husband, brother, significant other, steps in because they think she might be in danger because we're yelling at her and calling her racial slurs, if they push one of us, according to you, see, the difference is, see, you might push one of us. We don't go down that easily. Hey, but a push is a push. You say he was slammed to the ground. That's not true. He was pushed, and his little weak ass fell to the ground. So if one of us pushes us, all of us, because we're going to pre-plan this, we're going to pull out our guns that we're legally carrying and blow his fucking brains out. And we're going to say, stand your ground. Hey, in fact, we shouldn't have to. You're going to say, hey, their perception was that they were in danger. See, we know what would happen if black people did that. All of a sudden, you would say that it was the white family member. It was their perception that this woman was in danger and they stood their ground, which is why they pushed us to get us away from her. And then you're going to have a quandary, officer, because that's exactly what this black gentleman did, and you know damn well that's what he did. He stood his ground under Florida law. He had every right to put his hands on that man. The difference is he didn't shoot him, he didn't punch him, he didn't knock him out. He just separated him from her so that she was no longer in imminent danger. There was no imminent threat. It was proactive self-defense. They just stopped there. She just got off work she's a nurse, just got off work. Someone's in her face yelling at her. In his mind, he needed to do one thing. He didn't hurt the man, didn't stab him, didn't shoot him. According to you, he could have shot him because his perception was that she was in danger. But we both know that he could only shoot him if he was white and if the man yelling at his girlfriend was black. We know that.